Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Walter from Team Reckless, and I'm doing a deck profile video on my Gravekeeper deck, and up there, that's Destiny and Dragoon. I was really bored, and I started drawing Destiny and Dragoon. Yeah, good stuff happens when I'm bored. So, let me get started with my deck. I run 2 Chaos, Monarch, you tribute him, and removes any card on the field. Great card, this deck has a lot of tribute folders to summon it really easily. Just destroying a lot of your main opposition. I run 1 Gravekeeper's Visionary. He gets 200 attack for every Gravekeeper in your graveyard, and you can discard a Gravekeeper to prevent its destruction. So as you're saving this card, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and when your opponent finally destroys it, you just make them tight when you say Rite of Spirit and you get it back. I run 3 Gravekeeper's Commandment. Gravekeeper's Commandment, you can chuck it to get a Necro Valley. I see people running it at 2, and I don't understand why. When you can use it to get your Necro Valley, so essentially it's like 3 terraformings, and it's 1600. So with Necro Valley, it's going to be 21. That could take on a Cyber Dragon by itself. I have 3 Gravekeeper's Descendant. This card, when this card's on the field, you can tribute any Gravekeeper monster, destroy 1 card on your opponent's side of the field, other than this card. So this card is great. Hit back row, hit big monsters. I see it ran at 2, and I think it's a 2000 beater if you don't want to tribute anything. So I don't understand why you shouldn't run this card at 3. I run 2 Gravekeeper's Assailant. Gravekeeper's Assailant, when it attacks, you can switch the battle position to 1 face-up card on the field. So you attack a monster, your opponent could honest, but then you just switch it to defense mode or something of that nature, or they drop Kalut. Black Wings are big. Everybody knows that. Honest is everywhere. It's a great card. Of course, I'm going to run 3 Gravekeeper Spies. Gravekeeper Spies searches for any Gravekeeper with 1500 or less attack. That's a lot of targets in this deck. Searches for nearly everything except for Visionary and Chaos. We wouldn't expect it to search for Chaos anyway. I run 2 Gravekeeper's Guards. When it's flipped, you can return 1 monster back to the owner's hand. Really great for handling fusions and synchros. Stardust is getting in your way. You set it, they attack. You bring Stardust back to the extra deck. You don't have to worry about it for a while. It's a good card. 1 Sangan, because it can search for almost everything in this deck. Personally, I like to run 1 Spirit Reaper. Spirit Reaper is great. He does mad work. I like dropping a Royal Tribute while I have Spirit Reaper on my hand, on my side of the field. Attack. You start getting rid of your opponent's only options. This card is great. Plus, it serves as a tribute folder. Now, on to the spell cards. I run 3 Necro Valley. This card pumps all Gravekeepers by 500 attack and defense. And your opponent, neither player can remove any card from either graveyard, and cards cannot target other cards in the graveyard. So, complete graveyard control plus pump, great card. I play 2 Royal Tribute. 3 I saw as OD. This card is good. You just drop this card. Both players drop all monsters in their hand. Gravekeepers have a lot of recursion, so you get your cards back, and all their recursion ignores Necro Valley, so it's all legit. I see it ran at 3, and I tried it out, and it didn't work for me. 2 seems like the optimal number. I run 3 Gravekeeper Stealth. With this card, you select 2 Gravekeepers in your graveyard and add them to your hand, and this ignores the effect of Necro Valley. Great card. Recursion. That's what the Gravekeepers are all about. Grave card control and recursion. I run it at 3 because I tried to run it at 2, and I never saw the card. And when I started running it at 3, it just worked wonders. I run 3 Book of Moons. Everybody knows what Book of Moon does. Book of Moon's great in this deck because you can use it offensively and defensively. Like, your opponent attacks, oh man, book the card. Or like, you attack and you know the monster has lower defense, you can book the card. Or you can use it to abuse all your flip effects like Guard and Spy. Start swarming or start bouncing cards. Good card. I run 1 Allure. Everybody knows what Allure does. Draw 2 cards and remove from play 1 Dark. If not, drop your hand. Only draw a card in this deck. But I wish it were still at 2, but you know the list, guys. Lightning Vortex for decks that swarm. You just chuck up Gravekeeper. Chuck a Gravekeeper, blow up all your opponent's face-up monsters, and then use Steal or something, get your card back. It's really not a big deal. Giant Trunade, return all the back row back to their owner's hands. People tell me to run Storm, but I don't like destroying my own Necro Valley. I feel like I'm doing my opponent's work for them. Let them destroy my Necro Valley. There's no need for me to destroy my Necro Valleys. And usually play cards like these to push for game. So, if you're going to push for game anyway, does it really matter the cards in your opponent's hand? Now, on to the trap cards. Rite of Spirit. I run 3 Rite of Spirits. What they do is you select 1 monster that includes Gravekeeper in its name and special summon it, and this card completely ignores the effect of Necro Valley. So, your opponent can't use any recursion, and you're still using recursion. It's a great card. Oh, and it could get back Visionary, so if you don't feel like discarding a card for it, you can just use that. I run 1 Deck Devastation Virus. Deck Devi is great. Oh, my bad, guys. Deck Devi is great. Has a lot of targets. Basically, all the 1500 attack Gravekeepers can use this, 1500 or more, I should say, can use this card. You sack it, and for the next 3 turns, all 1500 or less monsters your opponent has are sent to the graveyard, and all the ones on the field and in their hand are sent to the graveyard. It's a great card. It's good for countering synchros. This deck doesn't synchro. I didn't want it to synchro, but I don't want my opponent to synchro either. It's good for making your opponent lose their Honest, their Colutes, all those annoying cards that you know are 1500 or less. And now for the staples. 1 Mirror Force, 2 Bond Elements, and Torrential. Who doesn't like these cards? Like, let's be real, guys. So, that's my deck, guys. Leave a comment below if you want to talk about the deck. Also need a side deck, so if anybody wants to leave a comment with side deck suggestions, just hit me up. And see you later, guys.